Is this perhaps the best ever West Ham side you've seen in the Premier League eras, Bobby?
I think so. I think possibly, yeah. I mean, listen, proof is in the pudding. We'll see at the end of the season, but certainly they've even shocked me, to be honest, and not because of the results they're getting, but purely the European football as well. So the number of games. Now, for me, the only worry is Antonio, Declan Rice, Benrahma, Bowen. If those guys pick up an injury in this number of games, where they stand after, is there enough strength in depth? But wow, I mean, currently this team is something special, and I'm absolutely chuffed. Got a big smile on my face tonight.
Scott, I'm sure big smiles on you as well.
I can't believe you asked that question, because I'm sure you know back in 1999 when I was part of the West Ham team, we finished 5th, which is the highest that they've finished in the Premier League. But look, I'm telling you now, with Manchester United playing the way they're playing, I think with now having Antonio Conte, I genuinely believe they could go on a very good run in the next over the next couple of months. They're not out of it for top 4 for me because of Manchester United. You look at Leicester, and they've been that 5th place team over the last couple of seasons. They have a chance. West Ham most definitely have a chance to top 4. Now, if you ask me right now, who do I think will finish top 4? I still think Manchester United have a much stronger squad and individual players than any of those teams that I've mentioned there. So I genuinely believe at the moment that United probably will finish 4th. But the way they're playing at the moment, if the form keeps on, and if West Ham keep doing what they're doing, and Bobby's absolutely spot on, injuries to key players, the combination of the Europa League and the Premier League, but they're doing it so well so far. All they can say right now is, up to now, it has been absolutely superb. And at half-time, I actually genuinely thought Liverpool would go on and win the game, because I thought they were so much in control. The way they stepped up, controlled the ball, but also counter-attacked so well against a team that is going for the Premier League, I think has been nothing short of superb.
How did this whole rise started in your eyes? At what point was sort of the turning point? Because I recall when David Moyes was appointed in his sort of second stint here at West Ham, he wasn't exactly the most welcomed appointment. I think some fans were questioning the ambition of the club electing David Moyes, and perhaps Moyes' experiences at Manchester United, at Sunderland, at Sociedad really didn't help his CV at that point. But when was the turning point? If you can sort of just pin it down, when this rise of West Ham happened, Bobby?
So for me, as again, being close to Mark Noble, speaking to him regularly on a daily basis, I remember when Moyes was sacked first time round. To be honest, it was more of a move by the owners in terms of, listen, they've just moved ground, the fans weren't happy, the results, yes, weren't great, but listen, the Olympic Stadium was a hard place to go and play when you was a West Ham player then, going into that first season. And Moyes seemed like an easy route for the owners to get rid of him, to take a bit of pressure off of everything. But I know that all the players loved David Moyes first time round. They were shocked and gutted that he left. And so second time round, I know that Mark and all the players that had been there previously with him were over the moon. So listen, in terms of Moyes coming back, listen, the players 100% were right behind him from the get-go.
Scott?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I'm not going to criticise the owners for what they did originally, because I think when you look at Manuel Pellegrini and all the career, the glittering career that he had, and moving into the new stadium, it looked like a wonderful stadium with a guy who perhaps in previous times West Ham wouldn't have been able to attract. But ultimately it's about, you know, the day-to-day business of it. And what Bobby's saying about what Nobes has been saying about how good he was first time around, it was a no-brainer to bring him back. And, you know, when did it start to turn around? Well, the day one of him coming back, second time around. The way, you know, the Canio, Joe Cole, Mickey Carrick, Frank Lampard, Rio Ferdinand, Trevor Sinclair, David James. I could go on and on and on, Jermaine Defoe. But we were always very inconsistent. We played well one game, not so well the other. What David Moyes has done is given this consistency, this backbone to a West Ham side where sometimes if they're not playing well, they can grind games out. That's something that you don't really associate with West Ham. So they can play well. They've got set pieces. They can counter-attack, as we saw today. They've got great skillful play attack, as we saw today. They've got great skillful players, so they can score goals. What they can do is they can stay in the game. They can make sure they don't lose, or they can turn a draw into defeat. So when did it first start to turn around? Day one of David Moyes' second time around.
Scott, also, mate, the changing room, being in the changing room and being on a consistently, winning basis that just breeds confidence. And I know, if you're in a winning changing room, it just breeds confidence. You go and you look forward to that next game. If you're in a losing one, it's exactly the same as well.
What is the strength of David Moyes then, to you, Bobby?
For me, it's just getting the best out of each and individual player. I don't think he's going to... You've got Lanzini, those, Anderson, those huge names, those players that on paper they should be playing. Those are the players that are huge, huge names. Whereas, listen, I'm going to go and get Bowen. He's going to work his socks off for me. I'm going to go and get Benrahma. He's going to run his socks off again. He knows that, listen, I can get the best out of the players that come in, that I'm bringing in and get the best out of them. For me, he's just a likeable guy and he gives people confidence. And as I say, that winning mentality, that breeding of winning games consistently, and just the changing room being a great place, and he makes it a great place.
It does.
And do you know what he's done, Bobby, as well? Sorry, Michelle, just to say, do you know what he's done as well? I mean, look at Fornals, and Bobby's mentioned some players there, and he's right. You look at Fornals, he's almost done an Altovich, where the guy is incredibly talented. It looks lazy. It looks like he's not going to run around. And he's actually somehow able to get inside his head and say, if you don't work hard, if you don't track back, if you don't really, go out there and give it 100%, you're not going to play. I think players then look at that and see what's going on behind the scenes on a daily basis, knowing that you've got good players, knowing you've got a good manager, knowing that actually you're going in an upwards direction. A good professional wants to be part of that, even if the tracking back and working hard isn't really in his makeup. He's got the very best out of players who generally from a hard-working basis are not always known for that. And he's got them in very well worked as a team. You can see they structured, they work hard without the ball as much as they do with the ball. And that's absolutely key.